हेलो टू प्लीज़ वेलकम ट्विंकल स्टडी क्लासेस। आप सबका स्वागत है ट्विंकल स्टडी क्लासेस में। आप फिर जुड़ चुके हैं ट्विंकल स्टडी क्लासेस के साथ। प्लीज़ इस वीडियो को लास्ट तक देखें, आप इस वीडियो को स्किप मत करना। आज हम लेकर आए हैं क्लास 11th इन्वायरमेंटल साइंस का चैप्टर 4 पॉपुलेशन इकोलॉजी। इससे पहले मैंने 3 चैप्टर्स की वीडियो जो है अपलोड कर दी हुई है। आप मेरे प्रोफाइल लिंक पर जाकर उन वीडियोज़ को वॉच कर सकते हैं ताकि आपको हर एक इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन की जो है नॉलेज हो सके और आप उन इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन को देख सकें और आप एग्जाम्स के लिए जो है वो रेडी कर सके। सो आइए हम चैप्टर 4 पॉपुलेशन इकोलॉजी के साथ जाते हैं और उसके भी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस को देखते हैं और आप एग्जाम्स के लिए ये क्वेश्चन जो है अच्छे से जो है तैयारी कर लीजिए। तो लेट्स बिगिन नाउ चैप्टर 4 पॉपुलेशन इकोलॉजी। फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय क्रूड डेंसिटी एंड स्पेसिफिक डेंसिटी? क्रूड डेंसिटी, इट इज द डेंसिटी नंबर ऑफ बायोमास पर यूनिट total space area. Specific density, it is the density per unit of habitat space that is available area or volume that can actually be colonized by the population. Question number 2, what is demography? Name the phenomena it deals with. Demography, the scientific study of human population is called demography. It deals with 3 phenomena: changes in population growth or decline, composition of the population, that is age group, sex ratios, that is distribution of population in space. Demographic studies carried out through census, registration of birth rates. Question number 3, what is ecological mortality? It is the actual loss of individuals under given environmental conditions. It is not a constant and varies with population and environmental conditions. The percentage ratio of natality over mortality is known as vital index, that is birth upon death into 100. It determines the growth of the population. Question number 4, name the factors affecting population density. First, besides natality and mortality, immigration and emigration also affect population density. Second, dispersal means movement of individuals and it helps in population propagation into or out of a population. 3, in dispersal, movement of individuals into population is called immigration, whereas movement of individuals out of population is called emigration. 4, in immigration, there is increase in the population size, gene pool, and population density, whereas in emigration, there is decrease in population size, gene pool, and population density. How food and shelter regulate population size? Food and shelter, both the quantity and quality of food are important. The population growth and decline of species depends on the amount of their food availability. The more available food, the more the population grows to meet it. The less nutrient food, the less fertile a species of reproductive age becomes. Long answer type questions. First, discuss Malthus theory of human population growth. Malthusian theory. Thomas Robert Malthus was a British economist and demographer whose theory of population was highlighted the danger of population. He wrote a book, an essay on the topic principle of population in 1798. Thomas stated that population grows geometrical at a faster rate when unchecked, whereas the means of substance like food, space, etc. grows arithmetically at a slower rate. When this pattern of population growth occurs, this is an imbalance between population and environment. Factors affecting population growth. Food and shelter. Population increase so long as food and shelter are available in plenty and tend to decrease if adequate food and shelter is not available. Second, water. It is an important constraint of protoplasm. Shortage or abundance of water affects the population size. Territory. If the territorial size is vast, then the population would increase. If territorial size is small, then population would decrease. Parasites. It is an organism which live in or on of the body of other organisms. Predators. They are the organisms which capture and kill other organisms. If there is a greater number of predators, less will be the size of prey population. Postulates of Malthus theory. Food is essential required for survival of humans. The passage between sexes is necessary. Second question, compare J-shaped pattern with S-shaped pattern of population growth. J-shaped pattern. The J-shaped pattern of population growth is when a population grows exponentially over time without any restrictions. Second, the J-shaped pattern shows unrestricted growth. S-shaped pattern. The S-shaped pattern of population growth, also known as logistic growth. starts with exponential growth but eventually levels off due to limiting factors like available resources or competition. Second, the S-shaped pattern shows growth that eventually stabilizes. 3. Explain the following. Biotic potential, the capacity of a species to reproduce under ideal environmental conditions is known as its biotic potential. The biotic potential is determined by the quantity of offspring produced and the frequency with which they reproduce. The biotic potential of organisms varies depending on the species. Carrying capacity. Carrying capacity is the maximum number of individuals of a population a location can accommodate, after which the growth of the population stabilizes. Carrying capacity is denoted by K. Environmental resistance. Environmental resistance factors are things that limit the growth of a population. They include biotic factors like predators, disease, competition, and lack of food, as well as abiotic factors like fire, flood, and drought. Fourth, natality rate. The natality rate of a population refers to the average number of offspring produced by birth, hatching, or germination per unit time. The natality rate is the number of offspring produced per female per unit time. It is commonly expressed as the number of births per thousand individuals in population per year. Mortality rate. The mortality rate of a population is the average number of individuals that die per unit time. In humans, it is commonly expressed as the number of deaths per thousand individuals in the population per year. Mortality is maximum in egg, larval, seedling, and old age. Question number 4. What do you mean by demographic transition? Describe various stages of demographic transition in India. Demographic transition. The demographic transition refers to the transition from high birth rates and lower death rates to lower birth rates and high death rates as a country developed from a pre-industrial economic system. Demographic transition is a series of stages that a country goes through when transition from non-industrial to industrial. It involves 4 stages that are based to population size and social behavior. First stage First stage is pre-industrial stage. During this stage, the population is stable with both high birth rates and death rates. The death rates are high because there is increased disease, minimal medical care, poor sanitation, and limited food supplies, whereas birth rates are high because of illiteracy, early marriages, traditional values, religious beliefs, and demand for family labor. Second stage. During second stage, the population begins to increase due to high birth rates and declining death rates. The death rates begins to decrease because due to industrialization, there are improvements in economy and social conditions, that is control of diseases, more food, improved medical care, sanitation, and better jobs. Third stage. It is industrial stage characterized by an increasing population with declining birth and low death rates. The death rate remains stable and low during this stage due to continuation of the economic and social changes that improve the standard of living. During the previous stage, birth rates begins decline for many reasons. Fourth stage. The last stage is characterized by a higher but steep population size. Birth and death rates are both relatively low and the standard of living becomes much higher than it was during the early periods. Last question and fifth question, differentiate between R selection and K selection. R selection refers to a reproductive strategy where organisms produce a large number of offspring but provide minimal parental care. K selection refers to a reproductive strategy where organisms produce fewer offspring but provide significant parental care. These organisms typically have short lifespans, early maturity, and high reproductive rates. These organisms typically have longer lifespans, late maturity, and lower reproductive rates. Third, they are adapted to unstable or unpredictable environments where survival offspring is low. They are adapted to stable or predictable environment where survival of offspring is higher. R selection focuses on quantity, not parental investment. K selection focuses on quality and parental investment. तो ये रहा आपका पॉपुलेशन इकोलॉजी चैप्टर 4 चैप्टर। मैंने आपको सारे क्वेश्चंस जो हैं आपको बता दिए हैं। अब आप ये 4 चैप्टर्स को अच्छे से प्रिपेयर कर लीजिए। जल्द मिलेंगे हम नई वीडियो के साथ एंड नए ईवीएस 5th चैप्टर के साथ मिलेंगे हम। तो बाय बाय, लाइक करें, शेयर करें, सब्सक्राइब करें मेरे चैनल ट्विंकल स्टडी क्लासेस को, बेल नोटिफिकेशन आइकन को ऑन करें ताकि मेरी हर एक वीडियो की नोटिफिकेशन जो है आप बच्चों तक पहुंच सके।